8 morning habits that are silently shortening your lifespan. Have you ever woken up in the morning and just felt off? Like your body's a step behind, your energy is already low, and the day hasn't even started yet. If you're over 50, that feeling can sneak in more often than you'd like. And here's the thing, sometimes it's not aging, it's your morning habits. The small automatic things you do without even thinking about them, that could be silently draining your health day after day. I know that might sound a little scary, but I promise you, this isn't about fear. This is about awareness. And once you understand what's going on, you can take simple steps to feel stronger, clearer, and more alive each morning. Because the truth is, how you start your day can shape how long you live and how well you live. Today, we're going to talk about 8 common morning habits that might be quietly shaving years off your life, and more importantly, what you can do instead to protect your health and energy. These are things most of us never question because they seem harmless. But once you see the difference they make, you won't want to go back. Let's begin with something nearly everyone does, checking your phone the moment you wake up. It seems innocent enough, right? You open your eyes, reach over to your nightstand, and swipe through messages, news, or social media. Maybe you tell yourself, I'm just checking the time, or I want to catch up before I get out of bed. But here's what's really happening inside your body. Your brain, after hours of rest, wakes up in a calm, balanced state. But the moment you flood it with notifications, bright light, and endless scrolling, your stress hormones surge. Cortisol, in particular, spikes sharply. And when cortisol is elevated every morning, day after day, it raises your blood pressure, messes with your blood sugar, and actually accelerates aging at the cellular level. Let me tell you about John. He's 62, a retired school principal from Ohio. John used to grab his phone first thing every morning. He'd scroll through the news and read work emails, even though he was no longer working. He thought he was staying sharp and connected, but over time, he noticed his mood getting heavier and his blood pressure creeping up. His doctor told him to reduce stress, but John didn't feel stressed, until he finally realized his mornings were starting with chaos. So he tried something new. He left his phone across the room. Instead of grabbing it, he took a few deep breaths, stretched his arms, and looked out the window. That small shift, just 10 minutes without a screen, brought his blood pressure down within weeks. He felt calmer, more focused, and even started sleeping better at night, all because he stopped overwhelming his brain before his feet even hit the floor. Now, the second habit is something you might not be doing, and that's drinking water right after you wake up. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body is dehydrated. Here it's been working hard all night, repairing cells, balancing hormones, clearing out waste, and it's running on empty. The problem is, many people wake up and go straight for coffee or skip fluids entirely. And over time, that habit puts extra strain on your kidneys, your heart, even your joints. Take Lisa, a 58-year-old grandmother from Florida. She always started her day with coffee. No water, no breakfast, just caffeine. She thought it helped her get going, but she often felt dizzy when standing up, and her joints ached more than usual in the morning. After reading about the effects of dehydration, she started drinking 1 full glass of room-temperature water as soon as she got up. Within a week, the dizziness faded, her joint pain eased, and her morning fog lifted. It sounds too simple, but your body craves that. Hydration first thing. Think of it like watering a plant after it's been sitting in the sun all day. Without that early boost, everything in your system, your digestion, your brain, your circulation, runs sluggish and slow. Now let's talk about the third habit, and this one might surprise you. Skipping breakfast entirely. Intermittent fasting has become popular lately, and for some people it can work well. But if you're over 50, your metabolism, hormones, and insulin sensitivity have changed. Skipping breakfast regularly can mess with your blood sugar, increase your risk of heart disease, and cause energy crashes mid-morning. Let's look at Mike, a 66-year-old mechanic from Michigan. He started skipping breakfast to cut calories, but instead of losing weight, he felt fatigued, irritable, and found himself snacking on junk later in the day. His blood sugar readings got worse, and his cholesterol spiked. After speaking with a nutritionist, Mike reintroduced a light, protein-rich breakfast like oatmeal with a boiled egg or a slice of whole grain toast with avocado. His energy returned. He stayed full longer, and his blood sugar levels began to even out. Breakfast doesn't have to be big, but it does need to be balanced. Your body needs fuel to kickstart metabolism, keep your brain alert, and prevent overeating later in the day. Especially as you age, that first meal plays a bigger role than you might think. And now let's look at a habit that's not about what you do, but how you do it. I'm talking about jumping out of bed too fast. This one's so common, it's almost funny. You hear the alarm, maybe you're running late and you jerk yourself upright, legs swinging over the side, heart racing. But here's what's happening under the surface. After lying down all night, your blood pressure is lower and your circulation is slower. Standing up too fast can cause a sudden drop in blood flow to your brain. That's why some people feel lightheaded or even faint when they jump out of bed. For seniors, that quick movement can trigger falls, dizziness, and even minor heart rhythm disturbances. Carol, a 70-year-old yoga instructor from California, learned this the hard way. One morning, she leapt out of bed to answer a phone call. The next thing she knew, she was on the floor with a bruised hip. After that scare, she started practicing what's known as the sit, breathe, stand method. First, she sits up slowly, takes 3 deep breaths, then gently swings her legs down, plants her feet, and stands with care. Since adopting that routine, she's felt more grounded and no more dizzy spells. So if you tend to rush out of bed, just take an extra 30 seconds. It might feel slow, but it gives your body time to adjust. And those few seconds can prevent a serious injury or health scare. Let's pause here and take a deep breath together. These first few habits may seem small, but they have a big impact on your long-term health. When you wake up with intention, treat your body gently, and give it what it needs first thing in the morning. You lay the foundation for a stronger, more vibrant day. And there's more to explore. Now that we've looked at how checking your phone, skipping water, missing breakfast, and jumping out of bed too quickly can chip away at your health, let's continue our quiet walk through the morning. Because some of the most dangerous habits are the ones we don't even notice anymore. Let's talk about neglecting your bathroom habits. I know, nobody likes to talk about this one, but it matters more than most people realize. After a full night of rest, your body is primed to eliminate waste. It's a natural detox that your system counts on. But when you rush through your morning, hold it in or ignore the signals because you're too busy, that waste builds up in your colon. Over time, it can cause chronic constipation, bloating, even toxic buildup in your gut. And here's something a lot of people don't know. Holding in urine too long in the morning can also increase your risk of urinary tract infections and even affect your bladder health. I remember hearing about George, a 68-year-old retired Navy officer from Virginia. He had a routine: wake up, make coffee, read the newspaper, then go to the bathroom. But he often ignored his body's signals for over an hour. Eventually, he started experiencing discomfort and bladder pressure. His doctor told him that holding it in too long had weakened his bladder muscles. After that, George made one small change. He listened to his body. Now the bathroom is his first stop, not an afterthought, and he says he feels better every morning because of it. Sometimes taking care of your health is as simple as paying attention to the things your body's trying to tell you. Now let's look at another habit that's sneaky in how it creeps into your day. Starting the morning with negative thoughts. This one is big. And most of the time we don't even realize we're doing it. You wake up and your mind immediately jumps to the news, your to-do list, a difficult conversation from yesterday, or a worry about the future. That mental noise creates a storm of stress chemicals before your feet even touch the floor. Over time, this daily pattern of negative thought can lead to chronic stress, increased inflammation, heart issues, and even memory problems. It literally wires your brain for fear, tension, and fatigue. Take Susan, for example. She's 64 and lives in Colorado. Every morning, the first thing she did was turn on the news. She thought it helped her stay informed, but it left her anxious, frustrated, and overwhelmed before 8 a.m. Her blood pressure climbed. She couldn't sleep. She found herself more reactive throughout the day. Then her daughter challenged her to start the day differently. No news, no phone, just 5 minutes of quiet gratitude. Susan started writing down 3 simple things she was grateful for each morning. At first it felt silly, but after 2 weeks she felt calmer. Her doctor noticed her blood pressure had improved. She felt more grounded and clear-headed throughout the day. You don't need to meditate or journal for an hour. Even a quiet moment to breathe, smile, or think of one good thing can change the direction of your entire day and, over time, your entire health. Now, what about your body? Because the next habit that shortens lifespan is skipping morning movement. It's easy to think, I'll exercise later, or I need my coffee first. But your body has just spent 7 or 8 hours lying still. Your circulation is slow, your joints are stiff, your muscles are cold. And if you go straight from bed to chair, whether it's breakfast, computer, or car, you're setting the stage for stiffness, poor blood flow, and even higher blood sugar. What many people don't know is that light movement in the morning actually helps activate your metabolism, improves insulin sensitivity, and jumpstarts the flow of oxygen to your brain. And you don't need to run a marathon. Just 5 to 10 minutes of gentle stretching, walking around the house, or a few arm circles and knee bends is enough to wake your system up. Let me introduce you to Raymond, a 72-year-old jazz musician in Chicago. For years, his mornings were stiff and slow. He'd sit with coffee and the paper until late morning. But his doctor encouraged him to start with a short mobility routine, just 5 minutes. At first, he resisted, but after a week, he noticed something incredible. His hands moved better on the piano, his back didn't ache as much, and his energy lasted longer through the day. He now calls it his morning tune-up. Just like his saxophone needs a warm-up, so does his body. And yours does too. Now let's take a moment to talk about what you put in your body, because another habit that can silently sabotage your health is drinking coffee on an empty stomach. Now don't worry, I'm not here to tell you to give up your beloved morning brew. Coffee can be fine, even beneficial in moderation. But when you drink it first thing without food or water, it can cause a cascade of problems. It spikes your cortisol, irritates your stomach lining, and can lead to acid reflux or ulcers, especially if you're sensitive. It can even mess with your blood sugar and make you feel jittery or anxious by mid-morning. Elaine, a 61-year-old nurse from Oregon, learned this after years of drinking black coffee on an empty stomach. She thought it was helping her stay thin and focused. But she began having stomach pain, and eventually her doctor told her she had gastritis. The solution? Eat a little something first. Now, she starts with a banana or a piece of whole grain toast, and only then enjoys her coffee. She hasn't had stomach pain in months, and she still gets her morning pick-me-up without the downside. So if coffee is your morning ritual, that's okay. Just give your body a little buffer. Something soft, light, and easy to digest goes a long way in protecting your stomach and keeping your energy steady. Let's take a breath here. What we've seen so far is that the smallest changes, where you place your phone, how you stand, up, what you drink, what you think, can quietly rewrite your health story. Not in one dramatic move, but day by day, with consistency and with care. Because that's what your body needs most after 50. Consistency, kindness, and awareness. Not punishment, not guilt, just thoughtful choices. There are still a few more habits we need to uncover, things you might be doing every morning without realizing how they're impacting your long-term health. Let's keep going, because there are still a few more quiet habits that can have a big impact on your health, especially as the years go by. Now, one habit that often flies under the radar is skipping sunlight in the morning. You might think, what's the big deal if I stay inside until noon? But here's the thing, your body is wired to respond to natural light. Morning sunlight helps regulate your circadian rhythm, that internal clock that tells your body when to wake up, when to eat, when to release hormones, and when to sleep. Without sunlight, that clock starts to drift. You might feel groggy in the morning, wide awake at midnight, and disconnected from your energy throughout the day. Worse, a disrupted circadian rhythm can lead to mood swings, weight gain, and even a higher risk of heart disease and certain cancers. Take Daniel, a 70-year-old retired accountant from Michigan. He loved reading in his recliner by the fireplace each morning, but rarely stepped outside. Over time, he started sleeping poorly and feeling sluggish. His doctor recommended just 10 minutes of sunlight before 9 a.m. On the porch, walking the dog, or even standing by a sunny window with the blinds open. He gave it a try. Now every morning he sips his coffee outside, listens to the birds and soaks in the sun. He says he feels more alive by 10 a.m. than he used to feel all day. And the best part? His sleep has improved, his mood has lifted, and he's even lost a few pounds without changing anything else. So even if you're not a morning walker, try to get some sun on your face first thing. Your body will thank you in ways you can feel and see. That brings us to our final and perhaps most dangerous habit of all, starting your day with stress. You might be wondering, isn't that the same as negative thinking? Not quite. Negative thoughts are mental, but stress is a full-body response, and it can come from external triggers like rushing to get somewhere, hearing loud noise, dealing with bills, or juggling too many morning tasks. If your morning feels like a race, your body kicks into fight or flight mode. That means higher blood pressure, faster heart rate, increased inflammation, and a weakened immune system every single day. Over time, that kind of stress isn't just uncomfortable, it's deadly. Let me tell you about Linda, a 66-year-old grandmother in Atlanta. Every morning she felt like she was chasing time, checking emails, caring for her husband, cooking breakfast for her grandkids, and trying to squeeze in errands before noon. She never paused, never breathed. She'd often feel dizzy or irritable by midday. One morning her body said, "Enough." She fainted in the kitchen. After a full workup, her doctor told her it wasn't her heart or her blood sugar. It was stress, pure and simple. Linda didn't have the luxury to stop caring for her family, but she realized she could care for herself first. Now she wakes up 30 minutes earlier, stretches in bed, drinks water, and takes 3 deep breaths before she even speaks. That simple reset changed everything. Her mornings are slower, gentler, and her body is finally starting to feel safe again. Because that's what so many of us need after 50. Not more tasks, not more hustle, but more peace, more patience, more kindness toward ourselves. So let's take a moment to look back at the morning habits we've uncovered. Reaching for your phone the second you wake up. Skipping your morning water. Ignoring breakfast, jumping out of bed too fast. Delaying bathroom trips. Letting negative thoughts run the show. Skipping movement. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. Hiding from the sun, and rushing through your morning under stress. Now, here's the truth. None of these habits will harm you overnight, but over months and years they can add up. They silently chip away at your energy, your immunity, your digestion, your heart, and yes, even your lifespan. But there's good news. You don't need to overhaul everything at once. You can start with one habit, one choice, one change. Maybe tomorrow you skip the phone and take 5 deep breaths instead. Maybe you drink water before your coffee. Or maybe you simply open the window and let the light in. Whatever you choose, let it be a small act of care for the body that has carried you this far and for the life that still holds so much potential. Because here's the beautiful truth. Your mornings can heal you or they can hurt you, and the power to decide lies in your hands. So take it gently. Wake up with intention. Create a space of calm and care before the world comes rushing in. If this video spoke to you, share your thoughts in the comments. What's one morning habit you're going to change starting tomorrow? I'd love to hear your story, and if you found this helpful, please give this video a like. It really helps more people see it. And don't forget to subscribe for more health tips that are made for you, because life doesn't end at 50. It begins again. Here's to mornings that make you stronger, days that feel lighter, and a life that keeps getting better with age. Take care of yourself. You deserve it, and I'll see you in the next video.